Now this is cool. Osvaldo, I got this strange deja vu feeling, like we've been here before. That's because we have been here before. We're at Cultivate. Well, last time was Cultivate'24. This time it's Cultivate'25. Columbus, Ohio, the Greater Columbus Convention Center, where we are covering the giant trade show that is Cultivate. We're going to take a look mostly at tools and equipment, because you know that's my beat, but we've got some potting mixes, we've even got some retail products for you, and some flowers and plants, because that's what we're in the business of producing, right? So come on inside, let's see what we can find. You know, my primary beat here at Cultivate has always been tools and equipment, machinery and automation. So we're starting at the Fleer booth here, I think it's number 229, where they've got a new inline filler. You can do pots or trays. I wasn't sure which to call it. This is an inline pot and tray filler. Few of the features about it. First off, it'll accommodate up to 16-inch pots. It'll take standard size trays, and this belt can be spec'd either a standard width or wider, so you could run the trays through sideways if you want to increase your speed and capacity. Something like 1,500 trays an hour. It'll more than keep up with your production lines. Good looking machine. It's got 2 compacting rollers and a brush for finishing off the trays. But one of the main features of this particular filler is the soil return. Normally they use an auger deep down in here, and because augers can be dangerous for the workers, they've got to put a lot of sort of metal in there and guards, and you can get spillage. It doesn't have as much capacity. This uses a big wide belt down there, so you get much better soil return on this. Price point on this pretty device, something like $55,000 and up. So not an entry-level machine, but a very nice machine indeed. That's from Fleer. Well, that's a dome idea. We've seen this device before. It's the TTA Cutting Edge from TTA ISO. A very, very effective cutting sticker, as you see there. What's new, the singulator. You can see it in action right here. A singulator is what takes the cuttings and separates them out on a belt so that the camera can see them and direct the robot to grab them. Normally you have to have a human standing here kind of overseeing the singulator and feeding it. This singulator kind of eliminates the human, other than occasionally dumping a big bag of cuttings in. The secret is what they call a linear activated pneumatic nozzle, or a series of them, underneath a mesh belt. There's also a camera up above looking at the cuttings here on the belt, and it directs the pneumatic nozzle to give a puff of air to singulate the cuttings. And if there's still a little pile of them, it'll direct it to grab that little pile. In the end, you get nice singulated cuttings coming through here to the robot arm, which can then look at them, pick them up, stick them, send them out the other way. So it's about a $45,000 addition to your cutting edge. Sounds like a lot, but heck, if you had to have a human standing there, you'll pay for this thing in a season, no problem. You want a good hose for your greenhouse? Get a Drram hose. I've got them around my house. They're awesome. But what you need for a good hose is a good hose reel. And Drram has finally, guys, come up with a hose reel worthy of the Drram hose. This is actually the same hose reel you'll find on their sprayers. It's got, come on in close, Osvaldo, because I'm going to show you some details here. this thing is heavy. The stainless steel shaft. It's got a solid brass swivel. That's a couple of pounds right there. And this is the mount you use to mount it to a column. And you can mount it either perpendicular or parallel to the column mount. And it'll hold 175 feet, a 5/8-inch Drram hose, or any other hose, I suppose. $299 for one of those. So get them all around your greenhouse. With your Drram hose, you need cutoffs. And they have a few different ones they introduced last year. There's a nice little display of them. Last year they introduced this twin shut-off valve. Super heavy-duty brass, really easy to use on-off controllers here. Well, now they've got a single, and they have a 4-outlet manifold for your irrigation needs. Again, super heavy-duty, all from Drram. And then lastly, something that looks like a dive bell out of Jules Verne's. It's this thing. It's the Aquify. What in the world is this, you ask? Well, some nurseries have wastewater issues. If you're back flushing filters and things and you wind up with gallons and gallons of water that you can't use at your nursery, in many places you can no longer just put it out in the ground. You have to pay to have it hauled away. And that's becoming more and more common. This is basically a giant filter system that you run your wastewater through. It uses perlite as a medium as well as filter elements, and it basically takes all of the waste products out of the water, just leaves you sludge, and then you can reuse what would have been wastewater. So that's the Aquify from Drram, specifically from Drram Water. On the retail side, we should mention that these beautiful Drram displays have been improved as well. All of the packaging now is less packaging. They have reduced the amount of cardboard they need to use to hang these. The other thing they've done is add a QR code to each of the products here. You see it there, and it takes you to photos and videos of each of these fine products in action. That's Patricia Dean of Wadssworth describing their high-end seed controller to some potential clients, I guess. But if you're more entry-level in your environmental control needs, what you want is Juniper. And Juniper is a stage controller, can handle all the basics of heating and cooling control, along with all of sort of the reporting that you want and knowing what's going on in your greenhouse, but at a pretty reasonable entry-level cost. I think they say maybe about $5,000 or so. It sort of replaces their old step controllers. Remember the Step 50 and Step 500 that have been around forever? This is the next generation of that. And the nice thing too is it can be upgraded to actually become sort of an entry-level integrated controller. And look how beautifully this is designed in here. That is a slick-looking little machine. The user interface is super easy and intuitive. So that's the Juniper from Wadssworth. Nice one, man. One of the biggest stands or booths here at Cultivate is always, well, what used to be known as the Agronomics booth. Now it's the Adept Ag booth, which features equipment from Agronomics, Wadssworth, and Plantech, all under one umbrella now. And we're going to start out with a new product, sort of a new development from the Wadssworth side of things. This is one of their boom irrigators, pretty much standard, as you know, but what they've changed is the way the hose is guided. Normally, with hoses for boom irrigators, you know, you've got a cable system or possibly a trolley system, but the hose is loose up there and the power line is inside the hose. What they've used here is an E-chain. You've seen these in automation systems. The E-chain rides in this metal trough, and the hose and power line are inside the E-chain, so it stays nice and tidy. There's no tangling. It makes maintenance much easier because both the water line and the power line are right there available to you. And it just makes for a real tidy installation. So that's kind of an upgrade to their boom irrigators. The next thing I want to show you here is more on the agronomic side of things, and it's kind of hard to show you, so well, let me show you. Let's say you've got a lot of machinery, automation around your greenhouse. You want to be able to know what it's doing. Is it running? At what kind of pace and capacity? Well, you haven't been able to do that up until now because Agronomics, I should say Adept Ag, has come up with a software system, really an app, called Adept A Plus that allows you to monitor all of your production lines in real time from your laptop, from a tablet, even from your phone. Here's a giant screen kind of giving you an idea. It shows your production lines. Here's a blinking red light. This machine happens to not be running right now. There's a problem with it. There's green lights over here. You can find out what's going on with them, what the output has been over time, the rate, how long the downtime is. You can even program it for maintenance service schedules, all kinds of things. Eventually, they hope you'll be able to control the machines from here. That's not there yet. And best of all, the whole system is agnostic. So no matter whose equipment you have, they can find a way to link into it so you can monitor all of your production lines from one spot. So that's Adept Ag Plus from Adept Ag.
Hey Dan, how you doing?
When you come to the Braun booth, if you want water, it's usually in a 16-ounce bottle. For the first time ever, Braun is offering fountains to go along with all their beautiful containers. And the key is, these look like ceramic, right? I was fooled. Plastic, lightweight, they won't chip. They've got 3 different sizes, just one color, because they're kind of testing. Do you want these? They're going to find out. And the price point is just $89. So if you've got a customer who wants a water feature with a built-in LED light, the pump's built in, everything's ready to go, try these new waterfall fountains from Braun. You know, the folks at Eminem Wintergreens are kind of camera shy. They're all hiding back over there, but I'm not camera shy. We are at Eminem Wintergreens, where I call this a tariff-beating idea. They do all kinds of greens for Christmas. That's all they do. But you add all kinds of plastic decorations to your greens, and all of those come from China. And we know what's happening with the tariffs and things. So what they are doing here at Eminem Wintergreens is they are replacing that with natural products, pine cones and branches and magnolia pods, but they are painted in all kinds of different colors, earthy colors, pastel colors, bold colors, how about school colors, and giving you an option for ways to enhance your Christmas greens arrangements in a colorful yet natural way, and without having to worry about those pesky Asian tariffs. So that's a new idea for Christmas, which is coming up from Eminem Wintergreens. That's my biggest fan. This caught my eye. You know, we've been looking at automation for the most part. How about a mix designed for automated systems? This is Berger's new Burs Mix BM2. It's got wood fiber in it, which is very trendy now. But what's really interesting, what makes it suitable for automation, which means going into smaller containers. This is a 105 count tray, I believe, about the smallest you could do. But the key is they have selected the fibers of the peat moss and the wood not to be smaller and finer like you would think, but actually to be just the right grade to still fill effectively and yet provide really good aeration along with water holding capacity. So at first I thought, well, they just made it finer, but they really didn't. They just did a much better job of grading out the peat and the wood fiber to perfectly fill this. So that's Burs BM2 mix designed for automation. We're at the booth of Control Deck, DEKK, because it was created by the Decker brothers. Their claim to fame is the Oasis water by weight system that you would add to your overhead hanging basket system. Well, they've since gotten into other kinds of controls, namely for boom irrigation, and they have their own booms. This product is 3 years old now, but I hadn't seen it before, so I wanted to show it to you because their boom is so sleek and, dare I say, sexy that it's worth taking a look at. First off, notice it's all aluminum construction, so it's lightweight. The tubing that feeds your nozzles is also all aluminum, super clean, no welds, fewer chances of leaks. Osvaldo, come in here and show just how neat and tidy this system is, where you come up to your controllers up here, your solenoids, and then the control is up top here. Now the control panel here handles your basic functions of location, on or off, etc., but it will link back to your Genesis controller, which operates all your booms. And the Genesis is something else they've become known for. It's such a robust boom controller that many growers are replacing the standard controller that came with their boom with the Genesis unit because it can do so much. So that's boom irrigation from Control Deck. You've got a big greenhouse with a lot of complicated crop nutritional needs. You might already have some Anderson injectors controlled by the Sirius controller there. But what if you're a smaller grower wanting to get into high-tech fertilizer injection, fertigation as it were? This is what you want right here. This is the JPro irrigation controller from H.E. Anderson. Controls anywhere from 8 to 16 of their injectors. This replaces their older and original J Plus controller. They put a lot of improvements in here. First off, the user interface here is much improved, much more user-friendly, and you can get a lot of data out of this, like pH, EC, water use over time, things like that. And it can be integrated with all of your environmental controls. And it's pretty reasonably priced, something like $1,800 or so to get started in this level of fertilizer injection, thanks to H.E. Anderson. It's been a busy year here at Cultivate'25 for the potting mix companies. We're at Pinstrup, and Pinstrup has introduced what they call TropiGrow. This is a premium foliage substrate for those tropical plant growers. It was actually developed by some bromeliad growers down in Homestead. It's 4 different ingredients, at least that the ones they'll tell me about. It's peat moss, less than 50% peat, 2 different kinds of core, and wood fiber. And bromeliads and other tropical plants need a lot of moisture, but they don't want to be soggy. This mix is designed for that. They're also long-term crops, and you can have problems with the media settling and shrinking. This is designed not to shrink on your long-term crops. So if you're growing foliage, bromeliads, other tropicals, give TropiGrow a try.
Each year, the Garden Center Group sends retail judges out across the trade show to find their favorite new products for retail. They call it the Retailer's Choice Awards. Here are the plants they picked for 2025. Haba is a hanging basket hydrangea bred by HBA in the Netherlands, and it's a fall seed exclusive. Dahlia and Venti Dahlias from Selecta 1. Rudbeckia Solar Sisters from Bloomin' Easy. Granera Frost King from Darwin Perennials. Cordidaria celoana, aka Pampas grass, a dwarf selection called Tiny Pampa Day 1 from Dig Plant. Begonia Iconia Baccia Lemon from Doom and Orange. Lily looks Tiny Massive from Growing Colors. Hydrangea Centennial Ruby in celebration of Monrovia's 100th anniversary in 2026. Ajuga Princess Leia from Concept Plants, grown by North Carolina Farms. Encore Azalea Autumn Kiss from PDSI. Caladium Midnight Oil from Proven Winners. Vinca Soiree Flamenco Electric Salmon Eye and Plum Velvet from Suntory. Tomatoes Party Ball and Akoya from Syngenta. Petunia Funhouse Black Widow, also from Syngenta.
Oh, I love this show. It's like the top gear of the greenhouse world. Well, anyway, that was a quick, super quick tour of Cultivate'25. Thousands of other products we could have shown you, but we just don't have the tape to do it. So you really have to be here yourself to see it all. Mark your calendar for next July 2026. Come to Cultivate yourself and see all the action. Until then, I'm Chris Beytes, Editor-in-Chief of GrowerTalks magazine, saying, I gotta keep watching the show. It's awesome.